Hey everyone, Dr. Will Lee here. I am super excited because it's T minus one. My new book is actually going to launch tomorrow, Tuesday, March 21st. And what's coming out is my new book, Eat to Beat Your Diet. I've been spending the last couple of months talking about metabolism, which is the topic. And I'm joined today by a good friend and supporter. Let's see, hang on one second. And we're going to talk about my book. So, a couple of things that I actually led to me to write this book. After my first book, Eat to Beat Disease, people actually were telling me that they were able to lose weight, despite the fact that they weren't able to do it before, and they were actually eating delicious, healthy food. And I thought, as a scientist, that's a little strange. How can you eat food and lose weight at the same time? And what I learned was that the foods that I was recommending contain natural chemicals, bioactives, that, hang on one second, I've got a guest coming in. Oh, there she is. Hang on. One second here. I am getting a friend to join. All right.
I got on, Doc.
Jillian.
I got on.
Instantly on Instagram.
I'm good, boss. I
How you doing?
have my new hardcover. You know how many people vied for the galley? I had like 10 friends that were fighting over getting the galleys when I got my signed hardcover copy here.
Oh my gosh. I like, do you like the fist I drew?
I love it as much as I love the book.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And, listen, one of the things I've always really appreciated and valued about our friendship is the fact that we have very like minds in terms of not going crazy, not doing extreme things when it comes to our health, and especially, if you want to live long and prosper, as Mr. Spock used to say, you have to mind your fitness and you have to mind your metabolism, and you don't want to go crazy. You want to actually keep things very, very
you want to give
sensible,
people
right?
things that they feel are attainable, accessible, affordable. And one of the things I love so much about you is that not only do you cut out the bullshit, and I'm sorry for swearing on your live, but you just do. Like the other day, I was doing a podcast from a super respectable host who's been around forever, massive following, and his guru was, bashing peanuts. And I was like, my guru is better than your guru, and peanuts are like, I'm like, I am positive that my guy is better than your guy, and peanuts are not your problem, I guarantee it. But then, you not only do you cut out all that baloney, but you also tackle the most cutting edge science in the space. I mean, you are looking at things like fat stem cells and blood flow to fat cell. I mean, this stuff that is just all the way out there, as you like to say, like years in advance of where people are, but then you disseminate it for us and just tell us what to do. It's like, I can't wrap my head around the science. What do I need to do? You need to eat this, you need to not eat that. And it's just, you're the best. I mean, you are the best. You are my nutrition god. And also my doctor.
Well, thank you.
When I don't trust my doctor, you have to tell me what's okay and what isn't okay.
We've had our adventures together. But look, here's the other thing that I think is so important is that when it comes to food and dieting, people wind up being so stressed out and obsessed with things. And I think what we should really do is to align our enjoyment, our natural human enjoyment of food, so we can get back to basics, be with people that we enjoy being around, eat foods that actually bring us joy, rather than kind of like reach for those kind of crazy jungle berries or whatever it is that's coming out next. And by the way, the other thing, just commenting about the peanut thing is, I think it's very easy for wellness pundits to vilify foods. It's a lot easier to say something bad about a food or about a person, frankly, than it is to say something good, right? So we really kind of need to make this shift in society towards aiming towards things that are actually positive. And so for me, it's all about how do you actually get the excitement of the science, which is continuously unfolding new frontiers in front of us when it comes to metabolism and body fat and healthy weight loss and better fitness and better blood flow and circulation, all that stuff. How do we actually align it with actually thinking about what we should add to our health and add to our plate?
You were saying,
Simple.
oh, geez, Doc, I want to say like a year ago, maybe longer, you and I did a podcast just about cold exposure. And you were saying how it's stimulating brown fat as a mechanism to burn more fat, putting aside the mood stuff and energy and anti-inflammatory benefits. You were talking about it as a means to amp up metabolism and burn more fat. And now everybody's like, oh, and then I sleep in a cold room and I do this. And I was like, this is like a year and a half ago where you were. And you make food see you or like, but it's delicious. And look how easy it is to prepare. To me, I just geek out on the science that you put forward. You're always so far ahead of the game. It's like, oh, Jill, I want you to eat stem cell or cocoa nibs because you're going to call out your body's ability to the stem cells and this, that. I'm like, I'm like, cocoa nibs. I mean, but it's so easy to do. I can put it in a yogurt parfait. I can put it in a little bowl of oatmeal. You make it all of the science easy and accessible and not overwhelming so that people can get the best out of what the most current data says without having to be, a Harvard MD, PhD, angiogenesis researcher.
All right, look, I'm gonna give you another little tip today. So here's my next little tip for you. This is the walnut half. All right, actually eating 2 of these times 7, so 7 whole walnuts a day actually has been shown to help women actually help gain weight slower and lose more body fat, harmful body fat. So this is 2 of these is actually 1 whole walnut. Turns out 7 whole walnuts a day actually has been studied in a clinical trial to actually burn harmful body fat by turning on brown fat. So how do you actually turn on brown fat? There are polyphenols in healthy walnuts and dietary fiber, which is better for gut health. And you know what it does? It actually turns on your brown fat like a space heater, like this baby here. You eat this, here's your brown fat going off. Hang on. It'll actually, this is like a torch. Actually, I'm out of juice. But
my torch better not be out of juice.
So often.
I need tons of walnuts to turn that back on immediately. Really? What is the polyphenol in it? Because now, of course, I'm like, oh, I can see. So what's in that in particular? Is it in pecans or just walnuts?
Well, it's actually in a lot of tree nuts and in chestnuts as well. It's called ellagic acid. It's the same kind of bioactive. And you know what? I tell people don't fixate on the specific chemical. Then you got to reach out for the dietary supplement. Think about the fact that how would you actually use walnuts? You could toast them up, crush them up, sprinkle them onto a salad, or if you're cooking a chicken or fish, if you eat chicken or fish, go and sprinkle some on. You can make it into a little sauce. You can create a pesto out of it. So there's all these great ways. I want people to think about, don't fixate on the chemical. Leave that to the pros who have to deal with the chemicals like me. All right?
I know. I go too far out because I geek out on what you say. I know you're like, please keep it accessible, which you absolutely do. You know what I do since you told me to start incorporating tree nuts is I will literally get them in breakfast, whether it is in the yogurt parfait or in the oatmeal bowl, or honestly, sometimes if I'm breaking that fast window, that overnight fast window, but I don't want to slam my body with something that'll raise my blood sugar and boost insulin too high right out of the gate, I'll literally just have some nuts and like a little bit of fruit, like some kiwi, some berries. And then that's kind of, I just sometimes will eat them straight too.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the thing to do. By the way, you just mentioned oats, so I'm not gonna actually tell on IG Live some research that is brand new. We're gonna present it actually in April. So this is how researchers work. We work hard in the lab. We come up with a new discovery. We have to submit it to a conference, and at that point, like which will be later this spring, people hear about it. But I'll tell you something really cool. We found in oats, so, like steel cut oats, that there's actually a substance called avidanthramide, and there's also something called beta glucan. And when we studied it for wound healing and tissue repair, and here's something absolutely crazy. If you, first of all, that the stuff inside oats can speed up normal healing. So if you cut yourself and you actually want to heal as fast as you can, the stuff inside oats will actually make you heal faster, about 25%
I want to
faster.
say surgery recovery,
now, the crazy
things like hips, knees, shoulders.
I know. Well, now here's the other thing. When we actually looked at the tissue that was healed, we found that using the stuff inside oats, avidanthramide and beta glucan. So I know you're geeking out in the science. Here's the crazy thing. We went down to the molecular level, and the healing is scarless. No scar.
So badly, it's insane. Whether it's hyperpigmentation, and it's gotten oddly, like, I hate to say this, but as I've gotten older, the scarring has gotten a bit more intense. Like, I accidentally kicked a coral reef, and my whole ankle is like speckled with scar.
What did the coral reef do to you?
It got in my way. Got in my way. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, how?
Don't
like, my whole ankle is messed up from it. And I'm like, this is just, and it will hyperpigment and sometimes like leave a little bump. Wait, but Doc, is there like an obscene amount of, like, how much do you need? Or this is where I wonder, can I get it with things like this, those kinds of crazy benefits? Can I get it in the food, or do I need like obscene amounts of oatmeal every day? How is that? How much?
We are working on that research right now. We don't know the exact dose yet, but we're working on it. This is like a brand new scientific discovery. Like, no one else has heard about this except for a few scientists. Now, the other thing that's really cool, not only does it speed healing, not only does it actually do it scarlessly at the cellular level and the molecular level, but the other thing is it recruits stem cells, your own stem cells, to regenerate that area as well, which helps explain why it actually heals faster. So we're going to present this research actually in April at a big wound healing and surgery meeting. But I wanted to actually share it with you because you're like my science geek buddy, right? And I know that once you hear something, like, you won't let it go. You'll keep on gnawing at it and try to figure out, like, okay, what does this mean? How do I actually make something
hold on.
practical
If I
out of
have
it?
any cosmetic procedures in the future, you're going to need to tell me exactly how many oats. I mean, I think what it is just so fascinating to me that you can impact your health so dramatically. You literally are using food as medicine. And we're so caught up in thinking of food as causing disease, and certain foods do contribute to that. I'm not gonna state any brands on this live, so neither of us get sued. But point being, it's so much more exciting to look at these powerful tools in managing your health, whether it is burning more fat. People used to ask me all the time, Doc, what foods burn fat? And before you, I was like, there's no real, focus on exercise and just don't eat garbage and eat a little bit less. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, if we get the capsaicin in there and the ECGC and the green tea, like, there's actual science that you'll tell me about, that these foods can be thermogenic, and it's fun. I love it. It makes me feel way more in control of my health personally.
Well, the thing that's true is that I had the same reaction to this BS stuff about fat fighting for years. And then after my first book, which, you were so great in championing it, one of the things that happened is that people that are reading my book were writing me emails saying, I feel more empowered. I feel I've come off my medicines. I actually feel better. But then some people were saying, you know what, I'm actually starting to slim down in ways that I haven't been able to before. And I thought, as a scientist, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. You're eating more food, but you're slimming down. What's up with that? So that's when I actually started to make a beeline into the metabolism to figure out that jungle of the metabolism. And I realized that, look, there is real science. And that's what this book Eat to Beat Your Diet's about, it's a trick title. It's not about a diet. It's an anti-diet book, not a diet book. And it really tells you, what are we learning about the science that actually Mother Nature and probably the hundreds of generations behind us intuitively knew when they developed healthy cuisines like you see in the Mediterranean or you see in Asia, using, delicious ingredients mixed together simply. But by the way, one last thing I'll tell you about that is very important for anyone watching this. I get 150 different foods. I talk about patterns of eating, but the way to think about this is not just what you eat. That's very important. I focus on what to eat, but it's also how to eat and when to eat. And you shouldn't be snacking late at night. You shouldn't be doing a bedtime snack that cuts right into your body's metabolism, where where you want low insulin from as much of the day as you can. That'll actually help to streamline. I'm not talking about making you fat if you actually eat. What I'm saying is that it actually takes away from your streamlining. It's like knocking out 15 minutes of your workout. Not going to kill you, but you're not doing all you can be doing. And so simple little tips like that are some of the things that I offer in my book, along with 150 foods you can actually
this is the best. I think you, as much as I know you're selling it well, I think you're still selling it short. This is by far, and everyone knows the last thing I'm going to do is blow smoke up anyone's rear end. This is by far the best book that I have read about diet. And when I say diet, I mean it twofold. Sorry. I mean what we eat daily, what our daily diet is, and a way to eat to be trim and as healthy as possible in forever. I gotta be honest, there's always a doctor out there with a gimmick, and you and I know it, and you and I have talked about it behind the scenes, and the science is baloney. Just like, oh, broccoli is the devil because of the sulforaphane. Will this gimmick sell a book? Fear-mongering, just nonsense, and it pisses me off. And the truth of the matter is, the reason that I have become your devotee, and I literally follow everything you do, speak to you regularly, read every book you write, is because you are the best, Doc. You are the best. You are the absolute best, and you know that I have access to whoever I want to get access to. You are the effing best at what you do. You know more than anyone else out there. Your credentials are unparalleled. You're never full of shit, and there's always data to back up everything you say, and your intentions are the most well-meaning. You know how to give people the information that they need, that is effective, and you're not looking to you will tell them the truth. You don't give them quick fixes. You give them accessible solutions to improve their overall wellness, fight diseases, get lean, give them the answers they want, and that's just the truth. And that is why I absolutely adore you. And I know that whenever I'm confused, I just go to you and you break it all down for me. I like with this anti-nutrient debate. You came on my podcast and you're like, okay, we're gonna go through this one by one. Let's look at nightshades, let's look at lectins, let's look at the oxalate, and you explain why this is not true, what we need to be doing, what we should avoid, what we shouldn't be avoiding. And everybody, look, at the end of the day, everybody does want to be as fit as they can be and as healthy as they can be, and you deliver that, period. End of story. And it's in this book. It really is. And Eat to Beat Disease, which is also my Bible when it comes to health. And now this has been integrated into everything, all the advice I give people when it comes to losing weight.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I love the fact that I can always count on you for straight talk. Like when we do, when we're on your podcast, what I love is that we can say anything to each other as long as it's the truth. And that's basically what I love about
God,
you
you're the best.
and what you do.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of questions. This is something you might want to think about. PCOS, estrogen. I don't know. Maybe that's a book in the future, like a menopause book for women. I think maybe, Doc, that could be next.
Oh,
just FYI, I get the question constantly. And people are always asking that. I'm just putting that on your radar. I saw like PCOS questions and menopause questions popping up in there. So just that.
I've I'm working on
Okay.
the next plans already. So
Okay.
we'll talk. Hey, listen, thanks so much for joining today. Thank you so much for the support of my new book, Eat to Beat Your Diet. And I will catch
Thank
you
you so
around
much.
the
Bye,
corner.
everybody. Have a great day. Go get the book. I'm not bullshitting you. It is the best book in this category that I have read in literally years. All right. I love you madly. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.